I'm here with a bit of a shorter favorites video today. I only have two favorite things to talk about from June. Which, isn't a bad thing. I just didn't do a lot of new things. I only read one book, and I didn't play any new board games or video games. I've just been playing Tears of the Kingdom the whole month. So anyway, I have the one book that I read. Luckily, I loved the book that I read, and I have a movie to talk to you about. So we'll start off with the book. The book is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I adored this book so much. It was so good. Look at all these tabs. I think this is one of my most heavily tabbed books that I own now. It was such a delight. Tress of the Emerald Sea takes place on a different planet that has a whole bunch of seas that are made up of spores that come from their 12 moons. These spores are really dangerous when they get wet and really unpredictable. And you can only sail in the spore seas whenever there's basically air coming up from underneath the seas that are kind of making it liquefied. Sometimes the air stops and then the sea stops moving and it's like you're on sand. So that's an interesting part of it as well. But Tress is in love with the Duke's son and they're super adorable and precious. And he ends up having to go on a trip across the world with his dad to find a wife, and he tells Tress, don't worry, I'm going to make them all hate me. I'm going to be super boring. None of them are going to want to marry me, and then I'll come back and we'll get married. But then when the Duke comes back, he comes back with somebody else, not Charlie, who is the person he was supposed to come back with, who Tress was in love with, who she was going to marry. He says that he has been captured by the sorceress of the Midnight Sea, which is the most dangerous of the seas because it has the most dangerous of spores. And also the sorceress is there and she's also dangerous. But Tress takes it upon herself to go and find him and save him. And she becomes a pirate, and it's amazing. The writing is very storybook-like, and also the narration is really interesting because technically it's told in the first person, but a lot of the times feels like it's told in the third person because the story is being told by some random small character of the story. And I thought it was a really cool touch. And so also because it is written storybook and this character it knows that they're telling a story, they talk to the reader in it, which is also fun. This book was so funny. The narrator is absolutely hilarious. Tress is amazing. She grows so much as a character. I can't give things away, but she's amazing. I can't say too much because it's going to give stuff away, but it's absolutely delightful. It was funny. It was adventurous. It was suspenseful. It was sweet. It was sciencey. It had a lot of science talk around the spores and how the spores work and what you can do with spores to make a whole bunch of different things. I just loved basically how Tress's character went about doing everything and how and with who and the people who helped her in it as well. And it also had some twists, a twist that I wasn't expecting, which I love when that happens. And this book was a delight. It was a delight. And I'm really sad that I didn't back the Kickstarter because I really want cover version of this so bad. Also, Brandon Sanderson backed my Kickstarter. He has a copy of Neighborly. Right? I know. And the movie that I'm going to talk about is 65, starring Adam Driver, which was I thought it was going to be a fun, action-y dinosaur movie, which it was, but it was a little bit more than that. It was like Jurassic Park meets The Last of Us. And it was fantastic. I've already seen it twice. I just watched it once in June, but then I watched it again with my mom on July 1st. But, so it's a little bit different than what I thought from seeing the trailers. I only saw short trailers of it. But anyway, I was under the impression that the movie was about someone who accidentally went back in time to when there were dinosaurs. But it's actually about someone from a faraway distant planet that has civilizations and stuff like ours 65 million years ago. So they're much, much, much more advanced than us. So 65 million years ago, there's planets that have life on it that is advanced. And Adam Driver is piloting a ship that crash lands on Earth 65 million years ago, in case you didn't catch that already from my description. And him and a 9-year-old girl who speaks a different language than him are the only survivors. So the movie is about them trying to make it across 15 kilometers to their emergency part of the ship that they can still use to take off, which is difficult because there's dinosaurs. They can't communicate with each other because they don't speak the same language. And also, the meteor that killed the dinosaurs is coming to Earth, the planet they are currently on, and they have to get off it before they get eaten by dinosaurs and or killed by a meteor. It was really good. It was more than just like a fun, action-y dinosaur movie, because there was some character backstory and some emotions and character development and relationship growth. Again, very reminiscent of The Last of Us. So I think if you like The Last of Us or Jurassic Park or both of them, you would really like this movie. I think it was great, and I would watch it a third time. It was really good. I guess all I'm going to leave off with is Tears of the Kingdom has made me cry twice. I mean, I never thought a video game would make me cry, but then The Last of Us made me sob many times. But then I didn't think a game like Zelda would make me cry, and it did. Some of the cutscenes and the story in Tears of the Kingdom are so well done, and so good. I mean, and that's like, I don't want to give anything away. And I mean, everyone knows I love Tears of the Kingdom, right? So, yeah, I guess that's all. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.